If you're not putting this maple beef bacon jam on your smash burgers, trust me, you're missing out. And after how many people demanded this recipe, there's no way I wasn't going to share it.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Now, every time one of my bacon jam burgers go viral, a ton of people ask for a version without pork. And even though I definitely prefer pork bacon to beef, I'm a man of the people, so I had to put this recipe together. And the good news is, we're pretty much going to make this the same way I make my other bacon jam recipes. And that means we're going to start by cooking down the bacon until crispy and then setting it aside to drain. Then we can get most of the grease out of the pan before we toss in some white onion and let that saute for just a few minutes. Now, after they have some color, I'm still going to stir in some black coffee, but instead of using berries, I'm actually going to use some maple syrup for that extra sugar needed to create the bacon jam. And both the maple syrup and the brown sugar I use are monk fruit, which I highly recommend if you're trying to cut down on sugar. And once we get the bacon back in and season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper, we can let the bacon jam simmer for about 40 to 45 minutes or until it thickens up, kind of like you see here. Then we can set that aside, and it's time to make a couple of my perfect smashburger patties, which after a bunch of requests, I finally made a video walking you through exactly how I get such a perfect crust on my smashburgers every single time. With how viral that video went, let me know in the comments if there's any other parts of my process you would love to see a video on. Now, once we get these patties perfectly seared and topped off with some American cheese, we can give that just a few seconds to melt before we put this burger together. Now, I'm starting with a toasted bun covered in a simple burger sauce, and I'll put the full recipe for that down below. Then we can toss on a few griddle pickles, followed by 2 of our patties and a bunch of that bacon jam. And after the top bun gets a little more sauce, it's time to bust out this incredible new knife from my man Luke over at Barrel Falls Blade Works and give this thing a cut and enjoy.